Rosemary Walters suffers from slip discs. She suffers from a partial slip disc on the fourth vertebrae, and on the fifth and sixth vertebrae you suffer total you have total slip disc there.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the medication that she has been on is she's been taking painkillers, and on and off you've gone for traction
Yes.
to get some relief from your pain and misery. Now, can you explain in greater detail your medical problem? I understand you've been having it now for 2 years.
Yes.
How has this problem incapacitated you?
The thing that this problem has made me was that I couldn't do the normal things that people could do. You know, just even walking up and down stairs, and then just even walking around the house, you know, and driving a car.
What happens if you do those things?
I straight away get terrible cramps on my legs and terrible backache, and it's like just like my legs are jammed,
So
and then cramps. You know?
Cramps.
Yeah,
So you're almost like, you feel like you're almost a little bit better than a paralyzed person.
Yes, I
because
think,
you are so incapacitated.
correct.
So so you've been taking, I understand you've been taking painkillers that has caused you some discomfort.
In fact, worse than discomfort, I had terrible gastritis, which really affected my stomach, and so for that I had to take some other medications like Jalusil all the time, just to to keep my stomach.
Okay,
yeah.
not to react to
Yeah.
the pain of not to react to the painkillers medication. Now, you were introduced to the pendant in November 2006.
Yes.
Okay, when you started using the pendant, what did you feel?
Actually, I didn't even realize how I felt until I realized I could sort of walk without bending my body, trying to adjust to the pain. As I realized I was walking straight, comfortably, and I could get down the car. I could get on the car, get up the car, and just walk normally.
Normally.
Yeah, just walk normally.
Doing things that people take for granted.
Yes.
You found that you could do that
Yes.
once again.
Yes.
So how long were you wearing this pendant when you realized that you were doing things
About
normally?
2.5 hours later.
That's very fast.
2.5 hours later.
Okay.
But actually, I think my sister, my friend, and all realized it earlier, because about I had terrible pain actually when we were on a journey back to my hometown. So that journey took about 1.5 hours to this place called Bentong. So before that, getting up the car, all of them had to help me to get up the car, But I realized, I didn't realize at that time, but when we arrived in Bentong 1.5 hours later, I just got on the car by myself.
Usually you are aided to get out of the car.
Yes. Because at that time I was having very excruciating pain. Actually. So they had, when I was getting on, they all had to help me. Someone even had to carry my handbag because the weight was hurting my back.
Right.
So finally when I got down, and then we got on to have a little snack at a restaurant, I didn't really realize that I sat down, not naturally, or else I'd be holding my back, holding my leg and everything, just to sit down. So at that time, nobody helped me, and I didn't even realize it myself because I was so comfortable. I was like so calm, I'd be so stressed up, where it's going to cramp, where it's going to pull, kind of thing. So finally, and then we walked out of the restaurant and walked up, and I got up with the car, and we just drove off and arrived in my hometown about an hour later. And I just got down like nothing.
So this is your initial introduction to the pendant.
Yes.
And so at some point you realized the pendant was already beginning to work on you.
No, I didn't really realize in the 2.5 hours until I arrived in Rao.
Then you realized.
I really realized it. But when I think back, I realized, hey, I didn't need any aid getting up and getting down, in Bentong.
So it was already working.
Working already. So I count back and say, about 2.5 hours.
That's very fast.
That's very fast, actually.
So now, when you were first diagnosed with having slip disc, you said, you were on painkillers and you'd be on and off tractions.
Yes.
For many, many times.
Yes.
Now, in this past 1 year, Are you still on? Are you going for traction therapy?
No.
Are you using painkillers?
Nothing.
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 So you're just totally living your life with the pendant.
Yes. And with the energized water.
And with the energized water. So I understand that means since you're not on painkillers, no more gastric problems as well.
No, yeah, that's the thing.
So you've got a better quality of living and life right now.
Yes.
So okay, that is actually indeed, it's nothing, it's like a miracle, isn't it? A little miracle.
True.
Yeah. Rose, apart from the slip disc, now that in itself is such an amazing happening, okay? Such a fast recovery. So you're saying like in 2 hours, there was no pain. After that, when you reached Raub, you're saying there was no pain.
There was no pain. 2.5 hours later, there was no pain.
Okay, as you sit and talk to me now, is there any pain?
No, nothing.
Nothing. You feel you're back to your old normal, the old normal Rose who never had a slip disc problem.
You know, I couldn't ever sit like this. I always, if I had to sit, I always had to stretch my legs out like this. So that, you know, it doesn't stress on, sort of, and give me any tension on my legs. Because the moment there's a bit of tension here and here, that's it. I'll start cramping.
So have you been to see your doctor lately?
No, after the one I went in December, I didn't have to. I was alright, I'm fine.
And when you went to see him in December, what did he tell you?
He said I was getting better, he said.
Was he surprised?
He was surprised. He said that normally, he said, even if the patients could, sort of lift up the leg with your kind of problem, at least 3 months or even maybe 6 months, he said no. Even a minor one, he said, 3 months. He said yours is very bad and at least you can lift up. He was very, very impressed. He was very happy about it, yeah.
So now you feel you're so recovered, you don't need to go back for any more checkups? No.
I'm fine.
Apart from your slip disc, do you feel any other changes? Do you notice anything else happening to yourself?
I feel more energized. I can, I work with children. So, I never used to be able, for the past 2 years, I couldn't do any exercise, I couldn't do anything. And now I exercise with the children, run around and all that kind of thing. A thing that the doctor said I couldn't do.
So you're back to doing normal things?
Yeah, I'm back to what I've been doing before, even more, I think.
More so second time over.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rose.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, Rose presented with slip discs in 2004. She was diagnosed as having slip discs in September 2004. Doctors put her on painkillers and she was on traction, on and off on traction to give her some relief from the excruciating pain she would get when she suffered from one of the slip disc attacks. Now in November 2006, she was introduced to the quantum pendant, and barely 2 hours into using the pendant, she found relief from the pain, the excruciating pain that she had encountered from her slip discs. Okay, and she finds now that she does not have to live on tranquilizers, on painkillers, and she doesn't go for tractions anymore. Now, Rose found that when she was on these medications, the painkillers would play up and give her gastric. And then she would have to go on gastric medication to bring some kind of balance back to her abdominal area. Now that she's totally on the pendant and the energized water, she's totally off all kinds of drugs and medication. She depends on the quantum pendant for her new lease in life. Today, she can do what she was unable to do once upon a time. Once upon a time where mopping the room or getting into a car would have set her off into excruciating pain, today she can happily mop her house, walk up a flight of steps, run around and live a normal life, the life that she once had and was taken away from her. But thanks to the quantum pendant, Rose is back to taking control of her life. Thank you.